What's happening, folks? Gerald here, aka J490, coming at you with another reaction, another Michael Jackson reaction. This one's very special. This one actually came up kind of last minute, but I was like inspired because I see this clips from this performance in so many memes and so many gifs and so many like Instagram shorts and all that, but I haven't actually seen this entire performance from start to finish in maybe like 15 years, but I vaguely also remember seeing this on TV. I don't know if it was when it was new or if Soul Train or somebody did of like best of moments, but I remember this like in my somewhere in my little kid memory. I remember this. This is Michael Jackson performing Remember the Time live at the Soul Train Awards. This is huge, and I'm going to get into the discussion of why this performance really matters, because it's funny, I know that more than I've actually seen the performance. So excited to get to this, but before I do, I need you guys to go ahead and subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. And now, without further ado, this is Michael Jackson performing Remember the Time live at the 1993 Soul Train Awards.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the recipient of the 1996 Soul
Miss
Train
Patty.
Humanitarian of the Year Award, and probably the greatest entertainer in the world.
Is.
You know him as the king of pop, rock, and soul.
That's right. Love it.
Remember my baby? Do you remember, girl? On the phone, you and me. Till dawn, till 3.
Oh. Okay.
Fell in love, we were young and innocent then. Do you remember how it all began? It just seemed like heaven, so I did. Do you remember back in the fall? Then we did again. All day long. Do you remember us holding hands? Remember each other?
Must be said, because see, I just recently, and I know that I'm filming this, and I know that it's going to come out in a close time to where I just released my reaction to his AMA performance from the same year, 93, and I kind of mentioned my true feelings about Dangerous, which I will not repeat. Well, it's not in my top 5 of favorite Michael albums, and to Michael fans, I know that's blasphemous. That's blasphemous, I know, but Dangerous is different for me. But I will say, this is one of them favoriteest songs of this is one of my most favoriteest songs of Dangerous, and it's this one, In the Closet, and Who Is It? Those are the 3 that have me like wrapped around the fingers in a way that like, yeah, this is, and then not even it being a Dangerous thing, this is quite simply one of my favorite Michael Jackson songs. And I remember being a little kid and just being obsessed with this song. So, and the video. But I'm loving the way he's switching it up with this performance. And I know the backstory with why he's sitting. I'm going to repeat at the end of the video if you guys don't, if this is anyone's first time with this. So, back to it. That was fire. That was fire. Woo. Wait, I think did he? The hardcore Michael fans when I feel like he might have hurt himself with that. If you don't know, to put it simply, he's sitting this whole time because he broke his foot, and he put the pressure on the foot for that one. And it's like I see in his face a little bit. It's like there might be a little bit of pain there. Like I mean, I don't. Am I the only one who sees that? I wonder. I wonder. Does anyone know the story with that? I remember that. I remember that as a little kid. I love this choreography so much. Again, one of my favorite videos of all time. I love it. I feel represented. I feel like he's me when I'm in this chair and these reactions and stuff. I feel like he's doing exactly me. I love it. But then I first rediscovered that there was a funny video gif of like in black churches when the preacher's sitting down while the choir is going at it. It's like it's the truth. It's the truth. But yeah, I feel like this. I also feel represented in how I feel sitting in this chair and moving like, which is also how I am at the club. I am very rarely a get on the floor guy. I am very much a sit in my chair and work from here up. You know, all that. So anyway, maybe even then, little me was inspired by this, and it just stuck with me. Hey! Come on now. This helping my chair routines. Feels the love. I know it. So it is definitely his left foot that is injured no, his right foot. I'm sorry, his right. Yeah, right. Because he's slamming that left. And I feel he wants to dance so bad. So it's, oh man. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Why was him performing in a chair more entertaining than most of the choreography I've seen of maybe the last 20 years, 15, 20 years? Yeah. I'd pay for a whole show of that. I'd pay for an entire concert of that performance. That I love it. I love it. And I'm so happy I got to actually watch it again. I'm so happy I actually took the time to watch it like this again. Like, man, but the significance of this performance is the fact that, as we know, with Michael Jackson's vitiligo, and especially by this time, and then up until from this time to the end of his life, it started sometime before too, but he was always like assumed to not be proud of his blackness, to not be to be anti-black, to be anti-black people, to want to be white, and to only care about white people and stuff like that. But the truth is, to know Michael's discography and to know beyond even his discography, but to know his philanthropy and to know the input everyone's given to his persona, he was so pro-black, and that's why that performance means something, because he didn't have to show up at all to get that humanitarian award. He didn't have to perform at all after he broke his foot. He didn't have to do that, but he knew what showing up to the Soul Train Awards does for the Soul Train Awards audience. You know, he knows that that's going to get more people to watch. And Soul Train, the entire legacy of Soul Train, Michael Jackson had always appreciated. He had always respected. He had always been behind. And just like in general, most black-owned award shows and things in entertainment, that you know, he was one of the first to go to the BET Awards. You know, he was involved with the BET Awards when they were honoring James Brown. You know, he believed in spotlighting things that spotlighted black entertainment, because at the end of the day, when he was at his lowest, black entertainment still had his back. You know, it wasn't always in the most kind ways or the most this and that, but we had his back in a way that a lot of, you know, the MTVs and VH1s and the pop markets did not have his back. You know, that's the honest truth. And he always knew that. And it's beyond, you know, even the later crazy stuff. Even people forget, in his time in the Jackson 5, which later became the Jacksons, there were ups and downs. Like they started out up here, they started out on the top, but then by 2 or 3 years in, they weren't as, you know, on top, basically. It was a little while until like around, you know, the Jacksons and I would say specifically the Destiny album, and then from there you go into Off the Wall. But there was a gap there where they were only really getting real play on R&B radio, on soul, you know, basically. And Michael always supported that. Michael, and like I said, it would have been nothing if this was the VMAs and he broke his foot. I doubt he would have performed. At the very least, he probably would have showed up and accepted the award, but I don't think he would have performed. But this was a big show of support to the award show, to the Soul Train Awards show. And it's a sad thing today. Like, in contrast, the Soul Train Awards, they'll nominate underground R&B artists or non-mainstream R&B artists and nominate them with the biggest names of artists who like dabble in R&B and who will never show their face at the Soul Train Awards or the NAACP Awards. And those artists will win, and it's someone accepting the award on their behalf, you know? But Michael Jackson showed up to the Soul Train Awards when he was at this point of his career, you know? It's very important. It's very, very important. And beyond even the Soul Train Awards, there were all kinds of other black award shows before the Soul Train Awards, and that, you know, they either didn't last very long or this and that. But if he couldn't show up, he always did a video thing. He always had support for things that uplifted black entertainment and things that uplifted black culture. He was very, very, very into his culture. To know his story, to hear from people who knew him, it is basically that, you know. So, because, you know, I didn't know him. I've read a lot of things and learned a lot of things about him, but from what I learned, that's a must, and that never left him. No matter what his pigment was, he always understood that he was a black man, and he always respected black people. So I love that. I love that, and I love that he chose that time to do. I love that he chose this time to do this show. So appreciate that. So anyway. Hope you all enjoyed this reaction. Hope you all learned something too with my little chat there at the end. If you did, please go ahead and like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. If you'd like to follow me on social media, that's in the description below. If you'd like to tip me, sponsor, or request, just plain donate from the kindness of your heart, that is also in the description below. It will mean a lot. You can also join my Patreon, become a patron on Patreon. We talk more like this on Patreon all the time. So on Patreon, you also get benefits like early access to videos like these, Patreon only videos like these, and the occasional extended Patreon videos like these. Like this would be technically an extended one on Patreon. But anyway, just in general, thank you all so much for even taking the time to push play on this video today. It means so much to me, and it goes such a long way. And beyond everything else, please take care of yourself and each other.